Okay, thank you, Anthony. We're going to very, very quickly run through the TKM Extreme grid for the final. Pole position will be driver number 3, Joe Fowler, and Chris Whitten alongside him on row number 1. Sam Johns and Archie Strong go from row 2. Harvey Roth and Michael Cornell share the third row ahead of Cian Bennett and Aaron Lask. Row number 5, Spencer Lane and Isaac Marsh, they round out the top 10 with Lee Whittingham and Ben Watson on row number 6. Row 7, Jack Saunders and Kai Springfield. Row 8, Tom Johnson and Charlie King. Row 9, Charlie Gromit and Ashton Cox. The field is rounded out by Megan Lawson and Fen Chapman. Now, we have a little look there. I think we've got most, if not all, on wet tyres. Also, as I say, that is the number 36 kart of Megan Lawson on slicks. Do you know what? By golly, she is on slicks. Brave choice there from Megan Lawson. Looking down at some of the other, I think she may be the only driver on slicks. I'm going to have a little look out of the window. Maybe is Michael Cornell going through there. And oh my word, there's a big spinner coming into turn number right at the top of your screen there. That's Tom Johnson on slick tyres, ladies and gentlemen. Driver number 42, Tom Johnson on slicks. So,
I don't think slick tyres are the one.
well, you know what we got? It's 15 minutes plus a lap. Now, obviously, the front runners are on wets. Now, look at Michael Cornell. Have we got wet tyres on there? Now, if we have another... I'm going to go... If we have another rolling lap, you know, and I'm not encouraging the drivers to mess up, but I mean, let's have a look. Now, obviously, Joe Fowler is there on wets. Now, that's the red maxi label on the side of the tyres, signifies wets. I'm looking at the Talco car, Archie Strong. Is that slicks on Archie Strong's kart? Yes, it is. There's a real mix of slicks and wets here. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out in about 3 corners' time. Because as things stand, the drivers on slicks are going to go backwards. Not literally, hopefully, but figuratively. And the drivers on wets are going to go forwards. Right. Got your pen handy, DJ?
I got my pen handy.
Right, we're going to need... Here we go. Lights are
Not out.
Right. Let's have a look at who is on what. Wets for Fowler. Cornell's definitely on slicks. At the back of the pack, Jack Saunders definitely on slicks, number 32. Megan Lawson definitely on slicks. I have a sneaky suspicion that Archie Strong may be on slicks as well. Looking at them coming through our picture. Yeah, Fowler, number 3, wets. Whitten on wets.
That looks like slicks.
Archie Strong is on slicks. Lee Whittingham, possibly on slicks. I'm not sure what if Lee's mum Heather's going to say about that. Maybe she made the call from the sofa. Let's have a look. No, the front row driver is definitely on wets. Sam Johns is on wets. Somebody has parked their go-kart at the top of the circuit, and I can't see who it is. Let's look at the white number 33 of Michael Cornell. That looks right. Harvey Roth looks like he's on slicks. Cornell could also be on slicks.
So there's quite a few on slicks. Potentially.
Potentially.
Only potentially.
We could have at least half a dozen. I'd say maybe up to just under half the field on slicks.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to find out for sure at the start of this race, because the drivers on wets are going to be dominating. Yeah, this Roth is definitely on slicks in the number 63. Here we go. Lights are out. We're off and racing. 15 minutes. Hold your breath into turn number 1. If you're on slicks, this is where you don't want to mess up. Oh, Fowler's understeering wide. Chris Whitten has gone wide. So Chris Whitten has gone very, very wide. The back of the pack, they're crawling through. Somebody's on the grass, coming across the entrance to the dog leg.
That was Cian Bennett who cut the grass.
Cian Bennett. Now, did his wet tyres get stolen from the back of his van outside his hotel on Friday? That could be. That could be.
Yeah.
There's up the into center number 1. Oh, Lee Whittingham on slick tyres there, the number 34, Michael Cornell as well. Well, the leaders are streaking away, and of course, if you're at the back of the pack, look at this. The drivers at the back of the pack on wet tyres are now they can't get the track position. Oh, there goes Cian Bennett round high, wide and handsome. They've got to be very careful. There is Chris Whitten recovering from his wide moment earlier on, and the number 7 kind of Aaron Spencer Lane rather. They're both on wet tyres. Well, we're going to catch the leaders as they come across the front. So it is Sam Johns leading comfortably. Didn't see Sam take the lead. Joe Fowler is second. Third is Chris Whitten. Fourth, Spencer Lane. Fifth is the number 93 of Kai Springfield. Then it's Ashton Cox. And
he's had a lightning start.
Yeah, because he's on the right tyres at the moment. I think the first driver on slick tyres is Harvey Roth. Yep. So, Harvey Roth in 11th place. The top 10 are on wets. The top 10. If you're watching at home, get your pens out. Sam Johns, Joe Fowler, Chris Whitten, Spencer Lane, Aaron Lask, Kai Springfield, Ashton Cox, Charlie King, Ben Chapman and Charlie Gromit. They are on wet tyres. At the moment, they're running 1st to 10th. Behind them, Harvey Roth, Lee Whittingham, Archie Strong, Isaac Marsh, Michael Cornell, Ben Watson, Jack Saunders, Cian Bennett, Megan Lawson and Tom Johnson are all on slicks. Crucially though, all 10 drivers on slicks made it round the first lap without crashing out of the race. Sam Johns set the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 11. He's now done a 1 minute 10.28 seconds. And we'll see about the best lap time on slick tyres as they complete lap number 2. Whitten's to the 109. Yes, Anthony, you're pointing, sorry.
Whitten's just got past Fowler as well. Oh. So he did that going through the horseshoe.
Now here's some of the drivers struggling around on slick. So all the wet tyre drivers have gone through. Now here come the slick tyre drivers. So a 109 for Chris Whitten on wets. Harvey Roth, 121. So they're 11 seconds a lap at least slower.
And it's not rained since.
They're 11 seconds a lap slower on slick tyres. But in the race Roth, Whittingham, Strong and Saunders. Okay, Harvey Roth is either going to finish this race 11th or in the top 2. Same for Lee Whittingham. He's either going to finish 12th or 1st or 2nd. There's Whittingham in kart number 34, passing Archie Strong for 12th place.
Wow. There's still 11 and a half minutes to go of this. The track could still dry.
Long way to go.
You know, a dry line appears in the blink of an eye sometimes.
And the other thing we'll see is that at the moment, the wet tyre runners are running 109s, 110s.
Yeah.
When those lap times start falling off, it doesn't matter. You know, if the wet tyres cry enough, you know, then the grip will go and they're done as well.
Yeah, there we go. So that's Archie Strong just getting past there, Lee Whittingham. So that was for 12th place. And you could just see the way that they're trying to get these karts around is just by hugging those inside curbs. You get the wheels literally hooked on that inside curbs and it will drag you round. That's the way you've got to do it around some of these corners because they're so tight and so twisty. If you just don't, you'll just find yourself sliding out wide. Now,
crucially, the slick tyre runners, Harvey Roth in 11th, he's in a personal best, 1 minute 20.1. Archie Strong, 1 minute 19.5. So now, wet tyres, only 10 seconds a lap quicker than slick tyres. That was 11 to 12 seconds a lap at the start of the race. The gap is coming down a little bit. There
just a little
goes
bit.
The number 16 kart of Charlie King up the inside of Ashton Cox. That's for 7th place.
Yep, gets that move done. You can't see that he hasn't got a TWN race suit on now because he's got his wetsuit on. He's got his wetsuit on.
Smart. Chris Whitten, fast lap of the race.
He's
chasing down Sam Johns, so that Sam Johns' lead has now been eroded. It's down to 1.96 seconds. Here is Whittingham. There's Lee Whittingham chasing Archie Strong. This is you're looking at 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of the drivers on slick tyres. And they are still putting in personal best sectors after personal best sectors. Chris Whitten. Oh, it's got to be so careful. Whittingham and Strong using all their experience So there they are, and you can see Jack Saunders in the 32 is next, and then Ben Watson in the 95 as Lee Whittingham into thing. And again, you know, Lee Whittingham, he didn't race in the championship last year, you know, family reasons. He's back this year. He's got his family urged him to race this year for a very special reason indeed, and he is at the moment in 13th position. That could change. Oh, Harvey Roth makes a mistake on slick tyres. So there's your inadvertent class leader on the grass. And of course, that grass is wet. Roth gets back online. So he now falls back to 16th, 17th. There goes Michael Cornell on slick tyres, trying to get past him. So Archie Strong and Lee Whittingham are now the best two runners on slick tyres. Archie Strong, 1 minute 18.5. So slick tyres are getting quicker and quicker, but so are the wet tyres. Sam Johns leads with a 108.99. He's 2.1 seconds in front of Chris Whitten. So this is not the leader of the race. This is the leader on slick tyres, and it's Archie Strong.
The leader's borderline coming round to the start-finish line now, really.
Yeah, the leader is going to start. Sam Johns is going to start lapping people.
Yeah.
He is... not just yet. Now the
there
leader,
he is,
there's
27.
Sam Johns. Yeah, he's put number 42 Tom Johnson a lap down. He's put Megan Lawson a lap down. So this is now, it's going to get very, very tricky indeed to follow. So the 27 Tim Wilson Motorsport kart with the plain white crash helmet, that is Sam Johns. He's not on your screens right now. He is a little bit further behind these karts on track, but he is now encroaching upon them. And you'll see him putting this group of karts a lap down. At the moment, he's 1.7 seconds in front of Chris Whitten. However, there's Sam Johns trying to go around. This is going to cost him a little bit of time because, of course, these drivers going very slowly. Whitten in the number 5 kart is going to close in a little bit, but then Whitten's going to have to pass all these drivers. Now, there's no blue, well, there are blue flags waving, so the drivers aren't going to be blocking Sam Johns. They're going to be doing their best to get out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
There's Whitten. Whitten's caught a couple of those drivers at the gasworks hairpin. So Sam Johns up the inside. Now, of course, being a driver from Landau, you know, he's well versed in what it's like to race when conditions are somewhat less than ideal.
I thought you said it doesn't rain, though, in Wales.
Did I say about racing in the wet? I said when conditions are less than ideal. Don't mistake my... don't put words in my mouth, Anthony Jordan. You know it never rains in the South Wales Riviera. Sometimes the weather is less than ideal. That's all we'll say.
Right.
But, okay, and actually Sam Johns has gained ground because Chris Whitten still always now blocked behind Harvey Roth. And Chris Whitten's being caught by the number 3 of Joe Fowler.
Oh dear, this is not what Chris Whitten wants. And now they've both got past. Yes, they have. They've now both got past. So, yeah, Joe Fowler now in a good place here to try and get capitalise and get back up. Yeah, get back up those positions.
Behind these three, there's a 5-second gap behind these two to Spencer Lane, who is in 4th place.
Then dear.
Michael Cornell, the number 33 car, out of the race. Aaron Lask is 5th, Charlie King is 6th, 7th for Ashton Cox, Kai Springfield is 8th, Charlie Grommet 9th, and Fen Chapman is 10th. Now, the slick tyre runners are still doing... Archie Strong's just done a 1 minute 14.98.
Oh.
Now, that's only 3 seconds a lap slower than the wet tyre runners, but as you see, there's Jack Saunders going a lap down. Jack Saunders is now 2nd of the slick tyre runners. So Sam Johns has lapped all the slick tyre drivers apart from Archie Strong in kart number 60, who runs 11th. He's going to be catching and parching Archie Strong very quickly. And Sam Johns' lap time, there is the number 60 kart. So in a couple of corners, Sam Johns will have lapped everybody on slick tyres with 5 minutes of this race to go. The drivers on slicks are getting quicker, but the drivers on wets, their lap times are not falling off.
No, they're not. There
you go. Is that... there's Whitten passing Saunders. So that's not for position. That's he's putting Jack Saunders a lap down.
It's patchy out there at the moment.
Yeah, it is. We've got 10 karts on the lead lap. Those are the 10 on wet tyres. As there goes Joe Fowler, and Joe Fowler's lost that bit of momentum. So everybody on slick tyres has now been lapped by Sam Johns, your race leader. Johns has just done a new fastest lap, 107.3. So even though the sun is now out and it's not raining, those wet tyres are not giving up. 4 minutes to go. It's probably about time that we say that the gamble on wet tyres, Anthony, has not paid off.
It's not paid off. The track just simply
The gamble on
hasn't.
slick tyres, rather.
Well, yeah, it's the track's not dried off as fast as I think everyone will have hoped. And we've, like you say, we saw this in 2020. It absolutely tipped it down, and then the track dried within 3 laps.
Megan Lawson
pulled into the pit lane. Yeah, that's a shame.
Now I've got one eye on Sam Johns. I've got one eye on Sam's dad watching at the outside of turn number 1. He's looking at the timing screen. He's just looking down and focusing. You know, it's been a long time coming. It's a long way to go just yet. But there goes Sam across the line into turn number 1. He runs the number 27, the number made famous by Gilles Villeneuve and the Ferrari Formula 1 team, made famous by Jean Alesi in the Ferrari Formula 1 team. He's always run the number 27. And could number 27 about to be P1. Witten in second, holding off Joe Fowler. Another new fastest lap for Sam Johns. You think to yourself, Sam, you're 6 seconds in front. Why are you still pushing? Well, some drivers, they need to keep pushing. The minute they sort of ease back and drive at 95%, then that 5%, that could be a mistake. That could be one. When the conditions like this, you can't put a wheel wrong. Now, and undoubtedly, the wet tyres are going to be giving up a little bit. But still, the drivers on slick tyres, Jack Saunders is at a 1:13. It's still 7 seconds slower than Sam Johns on wets.
It just shows how these conditions, they're not easy, despite the fact that you are on wet tyres. I mean, it just shows that you'd still need an incredible amount of skill to get these karts around a lap here in these conditions, because you've got to remember, like the paintwork. There's the central lines, you know, there's a huge, you know, one of those slippery lines right down the centre.
Well, exactly. Even the entrance to the pit lane has got a painted white line.
Yeah. You've got to avoid kind of all of that, because all of that can add to the slippiness out there. But Chris Witten, masterclass here at the moment, 1:05.93 is still closing that gap, but it's just not enough. It's still 6 seconds from Sam Johns.
When Sam Johns hit traffic, the gap was 1.78 seconds.
Yeah.
They had to lap 10 drivers on slick tyres. Sam Johns has got through the traffic and increased his lead by 4 seconds during that phase of the race, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, he took the lead at the start because Joe Fowler ran wide and Chris Witten ran off the track. So Sam Johns went from the inside of row 2 to the race lead at turn number 1 because the 2 drivers in front just misjudged themselves in these tricky conditions. Now, what we're looking at here, we're looking at Harvey Roth, the number 63 kart, trying to chase down Ben Watson, Lee Whittingham. So this is the slick tyre battle. There's the number 40 kart of Isaac Marsh. He's running in 16th position. I have to say that apart from Megan Lawson and Michael Cornell, all 18 of the drivers are still running, which is very impressive. Kian Bennett is down in 18th place. It's not been a happy weekend for Kian, but hopefully the police can help find and locate the stuff that was stolen out of his van and which was parked in his hotel. At the road here, not at the circuit or in the paddock, you know, but at his hotel somewhere away. Hopefully he'll get his equipment back. There's Lee Whittingham. The gamble hasn't paid off for Lee. There's Joe Fowler. So Joe's already used his drop rounds. This is going to be good for his championship campaign. Wouldn't mind getting ahead of Chris Witten, however, with the final 10 seconds.
No, exactly that. It's been a long old race for TKM Extreme. Like, that 15 minutes felt like an hour, really, hasn't it, for some of these drivers?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Sam Johns still doing 105s.
Yeah.
You know, the drivers on wet, but of course the KZs are getting ready to go out.
Like, what are they going to choose?
But I mean, I know that the timetable is you know, we're
slightly behind, yeah,
on timetable. However, you know, getting a word with Sam John, that's going to be so important, just because he was speechless at Shenington by just getting on the podium.
Yeah.
In about a minute's time, when he crossed the line and takes that checkered flag, and again, I'm looking at his dad just at the exit of turn number 1. His dad is focused on timing screen on his phone and looking. I'm sure he's got no fingernails left. So Tim Wilson Motorsport, you know, they won juniors last time out. They've won juniors this time. Sam Johns is not far away now. There's the number 3 of Joe Fowler running into place. Johns leads by 6 seconds. There he goes across the line. It's off your screen. Now here's the battle of a second between Whitten in the 5 and Fowler in the 3. This is the real battle. Out of the corner of my eye, Sam Johns is now putting drivers 2 laps down. He laps Cian Bennett. There goes Johns into St John's Bend. British Championship rookie this year. He tried it a few years ago, broke his kart off at the first round in practice, so never raced. There he goes into Senna 2, runs a little bit wide, checks over his shoulder. Stay up, he's going to use those curves like he's been using them every single lap. He's in the zone. He's 6 seconds up the road. He's got a few corners to go. Landau Kart Club may be no more, but its drivers are still winning on the British Championship scene. You can see the whites of his eyes, and Sam Johns is about to see the checkered flag. He comes out, cheers go up. Sam Johns is a winner in the Motorsport UK British Kart Championship, and look at that. Yes, 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 yes. Cardiff wins. It's about the only thing Cardiff have won this year, but Cardiff wins in the British Championship. And I can see now I think the mechanics are going to go there. I think Sam's dad is going to go and have a quiet moment on the back of the van, you know, as it lets everything sink in and reflect, as you do when something that you have worked for years and years towards and thought might never happen suddenly does happen. And if the adrenaline subsides in the kart, you can imagine the families and parents watching. It's the same release of energy. Chris Whitten comes home in second. He beats Joe Fowler. Spencer Lane is third. Aaron Lask is fifth. Sorry, Spencer Lane is fourth. Aaron Lask is fifth. Charlie King comes home in sixth. And it's Ashton Cox, Kai Springfield, Charlie Gromit, and Fen Chapman rounds out the top 10. Of the drivers on slick tyres, Jack Saunders comes home in 11th place, followed by Archie Strong, Lee Whittingham, Ben Watson, Harvey Roth, Tom Johnson, Isaac Marsh, Cian Bennett, then Megan Lawson and Michael Cornell failed to finish. I've got to say, I've known Sam since he started karting back in cadets. He's a really, really nice guy. He was a nice lad. He's now a nice bloke, and he's going to be very pleased. He comes in, and there he is. We're going to see some emotional scenes now, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a thumbs up for Chris Whitten. Anthony's waiting. Good stuff there. Oh, and look at that. That is elation. That body language tells you everything you need to know as Sam gets out. Oh, done it. We're going to wait. We're going to shake hands. Congratulations from Chris Whitten and Joe Fowler. Good race. Sam Johns, he's going to roll his kart over the weighbridge. I've got to say that's a double in TKM for Tim Wilson Motorsport. Two first-time winners for the team, and two really nice guys. Anthony is waiting for Sam. You can see Sam pulling his kart up. We're going to have a chance of a quick word before the last race today. And Anthony Jordan, he better be ready for a very, very happy Welshman now. I hope he's not lost for words like the last time. Not a chance. There'll be plenty of these things to say. We'll have a very quick word with our race winner, Sam Johns, before we have to come back for the KZ2. Anthony, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, the engines are fired up for KZ2, so we've got to be quick here. But Sam Johns, what a result that is. From Landau to the British champs, you're coming away with a win.
I know, it's unbelievable. I can't... I really wanted it to rain, because I knew I'd be much more competitive in the rain than I would the dry. Because these two are very competitive in the dry, I know that. But obviously being in Wales is very wet. I go down to the Landau Car Club just to practice on slicks in wet. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Henry is beside himself in the commentary box. He couldn't believe it. It's like it's the only thing Cardiff has won in for quite a while. So you can bring it home for Cardiff this time.
Bring it home for the old Landau Kart Club boys, the CKRC. They know who I'm on about. But yeah, this is amazing.
No, brilliant stuff. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Oh my God, my parents, just for bringing me into this amazing sport. It's been doing this for 10 years. This is the best thing I've ever achieved. My dad and the support, Tim Wilson supplying with the Bill Art Kart, Jade's doing the engines. Yeah.
Well, a double for Tim Wilson Motorsport and a first for you here for the British. Well done, Sam Johns.
Thank you very much.
We now move on to the TKM Extreme podium here at Karting Northeast. Another race where the weather gods threw absolutely everything they could at the drivers. The drivers proved why they are the best in Britain. First of all, finishing third on his return to the championship after missing the opening round due to his British touring car commitments, it's Joe Fowler! So Joe for Klassen Motorsport, picking up where he left off, the 3 seed last year, now third on his return in 2022. Well done, Joe. Now we move on to second place, and again, this driver at Shenington couldn't quite make it 2 wins out of 2 today, but it's another fantastic performance for one of the most successful drivers in the class. It's privateer driver Chris Whitton. Well done. Now, believe it or not, there is no rule that says that to be a TKM driver, you've got to have a black and orange Alpine Stars race suit. Other race suits are available. But congratulations, Chris. 5 wins the British Championship now since the start of 2019. So one of the most successful drivers in the class. However, again, another new winner. And this driver, he's come back to the championship, giving it a good go for the very first time. He says in 10 years of karting, this is his best achievement, representing Tim Wilson Motorsport alongside the winning mechanic Harry Jones. Never forget you Welsh, it's Sam Johns! His mechanic, Harry. I mentioned his mechanic. So once again, Spanner. Once again, the conditions. Where's your hat, Sam? Where's your hat? Come on. Oh, you can. Right, you can tell he's not used to winning. Get down on your bonds. Come on. There we go. That's better. Now you go. Chris, have a word with him. So if he's gonna win, then you've got to do. Exactly. There we go. Congratulations, your TKM Extreme podium, your winner, Sam Johns.